Should I go to a bail hearing? That's a common question we get in criminal cases where there's a family member or wife or loved one or even a friend and they're just wondering, should I go to my friend's bail hearing and is it going to make a difference? And what I can tell you is it really depends. I mean, certainly there's never been a situation where it's hurt for you to go to a bail hearing. So if you're able to go and it's not going to be a problem with work or with childcare or things like that, by all means, feel free to go to it. Now, will it make a difference? That kind of depends on a couple different things. Number one, you're not going to really be able to speak with your loved one at the hearing. So if you're hoping to get some information from them or give them a hug or things like that, you're not going to be able to do that. But sometimes just being there and showing them that you're supporting them can make a difference for the person emotionally, obviously, as they're going through a tough time being locked up. And also sometimes it can also sway a judge. So a judge, one of the things we can do as a defense lawyer is argue to the judge about why bail shouldn't have to be posted at all, why they should be released on their own recognizance or just with some rules without having to put up money bail, or even if they are going to put up money bail, to have it lowered. And one of the things we can do is point in the courtroom and say, Your Honor, this person has support in the courtroom. There's a whole bunch of people here supporting him and that they're saying he can stay with them or whatever. And sometimes that can make a difference. Again, it's not always going to make a positive difference, but it can never hurt, and sometimes it can make a difference. So if you're able to go, go. That's one of the things you should know about. The other thing I want you to know about is that if you're there, you'd be surprised sometimes how long it takes someone to get released out of court after the judge sets bail. So let's say they've got a bail hearing at 10 o'clock. They're in front of the judge. Judge sets bail at $5,000. Now you're working with a bond agent to get the bond set for the client. All right, and the bond agents oftentimes can be pretty quick about that, and I help my clients get hooked up with a reputable bond agent. Many other lawyers do as well. Some don't, but just make sure you're in the hands of a good bond agent. You'd be surprised sometimes to learn that sometimes it takes many hours for your loved one to get out of jail even after the bond is posted. So then you're having sitting and waiting around the courthouse for hours wondering what's happening. I want you to know that in advance. It's worth asking the jailers at the jail, their administration, how long does it typically taking today to process people out, because that can be a different thing from day to day. Certainly different counties are different about it. Some counties are busier than others, and so some counties they do get out in a half hour. Other times it's literally 8-9 hours later, and I just want you to know that so you're not having any additional frustration or confusion about that process. If you have more questions about a criminal case, I'm criminal defense attorney Ryan Pacyga. You can reach me at arrestedmn.com or call me at 612-339-5844. I do want to share something with you. Sometimes it can feel like this. This is a case that I had a client on where he was happy we got some evidence thrown out and got a lower prison term that he would have been facing otherwise. It was a federal case. And of course, I wish I could tell you every case gets dismissed or every case is found not guilty. Of course, that doesn't happen all the time. In fact, it's sometimes the exception, not the rule. But it doesn't mean a lawyer can't be helpful. If we can save years off of somebody's prison sentence, that's helpful all by itself. And he was really appreciative of that, and I've stayed in contact with him. And when he was in prison, he took up drawing as a way for some stress relief. And one of the things he did was he drew me this picture, kind of his view on the system at the time as well. But it's really cool. It's actually a guy sitting in a jail cell, and it says "One Nation Under Guard." And it's a drawing of this guy in a cell, and the bars of the cell are made to look like the American flag. I wanted to share that with you. And the point that I'm making here is that there is bail reform going on in the United States. For a while there, the United States got carried away by setting bail in every case and setting sometimes high amounts that people couldn't afford. And the result is that people are sitting in prison or in jail awaiting their trial to happen because they can't bail out, even sometimes for rather trivial offenses. The point of bail has to be two things. Under the law in Minnesota, for example, is one, is there a risk of flight or not? And second, what's the danger to the community? And there has been some reform where some offenses now are automatically not bail offenses anymore, which is good, so that more people who can't afford bail won't just be sitting in jail. So I think we're trending in the right direction, but I do think we still have a long way to go, and it can be worth having a lawyer at the bail hearing rather than waiting to hire one after, because sometimes we can make a big difference in how much bail or bond you have to post for your family member, and that can save you thousands or even sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. Sometimes it's not going to matter. Bail's going to be set at what it is no matter who walks into the courtroom. It's just going to be a certain amount. But other times it can matter, and that's something you can think about when thinking about whether you hire a lawyer right away or whether you want to take some time and wait till your loved one's out of jail before you make that decision process so that y'all can talk about it as a family. There's advantages and disadvantages to doing it both ways, but I want you to have that tip as well. Again, if you have any more questions, I'm Ryan Pacyga.